Don't miss the final Frist Friday of the year on November 14th. Enjoy a 1960s-themed celebration inspired by the Frist Art Museum's latest exhibition, Paul McCartney Photographs 1963 to 1964, Eyes of the Storm. DJ John Stamps will be spinning classic hits all night long. Enjoy art, music, creative activities, and retro fun. Dress to impress and get ready to twist and shout. Get details and advance tickets at fristartmuseum.org. Today on CityCast Nashville, as the holiday season ramps up with party after party and drink after drink, you might be wondering, what are Nashville's best alcohol-free alternatives? Well, you are in luck because Nashville's first booze-free store, Killjoy, just opened its second location in Berry Hill. So today we are revisiting our conversation with founder and CEO Stephanie Still about the city's growing sober curious scene. It's Wednesday, November 12th. I'm your host, Marie Cecile Anderson, and this is what Nashville's talking about. I am quite new to the non-alcoholic beverage scene, and to be honest, I'm just a tad skeptical, just a little, because for me, I lived in New York for quite some time, and alcohol was such a part of my lifestyle, but now I've moved back to Nashville, my hometown. And, I'm getting a little older, so I'm trying to, push away the thought of drinking is only for getting a buzz. How do you convince people like me to embrace non-alcoholic beverages?
It's usually not me that has to do the convincing. It's usually your body or something that happens to you, or just like the creeping realization that gosh, I am not living my best life. I think that's what a lot of people just kind of wake up one day and go, I wonder what my life would look like if alcohol were not a factor. And then they try to cut back and they realize how hard it is.
So I would love to understand the products a little bit more. Which brands are a must try? Which ones will actually give me a buzz? When I went in this past weekend, I was picking up a gift. It was a perfect place. You guys listen, lean in. It is the most perfect place to get a birthday gift, a bachelorette party gift, because I went in there and whoever helped me was so knowledgeable and walked me through the CBD drinks, the THC drinks, and then I ended up getting the drops that you can put in. Mm-hmm. And it was packaged in the most beautiful gift bag. And I actually won at the birthday party with the most beautiful gift bag. Thank you very much.
Ooh.
It was awesome. So I was educated while I was in there, but could you just kind of give a rundown of maybe some of your favorite products?
Sure. Well, I think for people who might be listening that don't know anything about this, I get the question a lot. People are just like, well, what is in your store? People don't even understand what we have. So we carry de-alcoholized wines, which are a lot like, they take regular wine, they remove the alcohol, think kind of like decaffeinated coffee. We have about 50 different kinds of wines. We also have tea-based wine alternatives. And then we have a huge spirits section, and we keep all those bottles open for people to sample the spirits. And so there's spirits that are analogs like whiskey, tequila, gin, and rum. And then there are spirits that are just kind of new things, and a lot of spirits that are containing adaptogens and botanicals that are going to kind of help you feel a little something. Not drunk, but a little something. We have a bunch of different kinds of non-alcoholic beers. And then we have a whole section of ready-to-drink cocktails and cans, and a lot of those do contain adaptogens, kava, stuff like that. And we have drinks with CBD and THC in them. I'm sorry, my dog is snoring, so I hope that is not.
That's fine. We love a little noise in the background, yeah. Especially when it's an animal.
That's what that is, in case y'all can hear that. She snores very loudly. She weighs 15 pounds. It's crazy. So, yes, so we have drinks that do have THC in them, and that's hemp-derived Delta-9 THC that will actually make people high. We also have drinks with CBD, kava, and an adaptogen is a plant or a mushroom that helps your body adapt to stress. So that looks like things like ashwagandha, magnesium, lion's mane, L-theanine, stuff like that. So it's not something that's going to give you a head change. It's just going to help you feel a little bit more chilled out, a little bit more social. I do make sure that every one of our staff members is very well trained on the products and can help guide people to something they'll really like, because the price points are about the same as the alcoholic counterparts.
couple years ago, my dad was in a home for Alzheimer's, and we didn't want to take away his joy of alcohol, but he was not allowed to drink at all. We had such a hard time trying to find non-alcoholic wine in Nashville.
Yeah.
I think we ended up ordering some online or something, but I wish y'all existed back then because he was so happy. So I highly recommend if you have an older parent in a nursing home, bring them a non-alcoholic wine because it brings so much joy. And, it's just a little lie. You don't have to tell them
That's so funny. So he didn't know it was non-alcoholic?
No, we were just there to celebrate. And
I had a few people come in before Thanksgiving and say, I'm just going to give this bottle of wine to my mother-in-law, and I'm not going to say anything, and just see what happens.
Well, we had a famous Christmas Eve party, 20 years ago here, and my dad had accidentally bought O'Doul's. And the whole party, though, was like, it seemed like everyone was drunk because we were just drinking beers and whatever. And then all of a sudden, somebody looked down 2 hours into the party. Oh, my God, we're drinking O'Doul's. And it was a placebo effect. I think that we were just all happy. And, if nobody had said anything, we all probably would have thought we were drunk and probably woken up just perfect the next day. No hangover.
Yeah. It's really interesting because the parties that we throw with non-alcoholic drinks feel just like regular parties.
Right.
They don't feel any different. And people are energetic. They're talking. They're laughing. It is not like you really can't tell the difference. I have had a lot of people ask me whether they're feeling a buzz. And so something that happens is if you're accustomed to drinking wine and you drink a non-alcoholic wine, you're going to get a rush of dopamine as though you were drinking wine because your body is used to that. Your body expects that. You've kind of trained your body to do that. So you're going to get like a little bit of a bonus buzz that's not real. It's like a phantom buzz. So people could actually have been experiencing that, at your party because they thought they were drinking beer. Their body responded, accordingly. But then when it's like time to focus up and drive, you were like, oh, I can do that.
Well, I assume you don't need a liquor license for your store. Is that correct? Or do you?
That's right. Yeah, we don't have anything with alcohol in it at all.
Do your customers have to be 21 and older or no?
We do require our customers to be 21 and over because we sell CBD and hemp.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense.
And they are beverages for adults. There's a little bit of a debate on whether young people should drink these things. And I have an opinion on that. But in general, they're for adults.
I'm glad you cleared that up because I was curious. Like, are you giving kids like non-alcoholic beer? It's like, well.
I have a 5-year-old and I let him drink stuff.
There you go. I used to dip my pretzels in my dad's beer.
Yeah.
As a child.
I have a cute story because he's been sampling non-alcoholic beer, since he was really little and when he was maybe 3. And we had tried to not give him sweets, like you try to do. He came home one day and he was like, Mama, I found the best beer. And I was like, you did? And he's like, it's called root beer. It is so much better than that stuff you've been drinking.
Oh my God, that's adorable. I love it.
Yeah. So I'm of the opinion that exposing them to non-alcoholic beverages is not a slippery slope to them drinking alcohol. He's like, I don't even like this. Why are you drinking this?
Would you stand behind saying that alcohol is poison?
It's not a matter of opinion.
Right.
It's a class 1 carcinogen.
Right.
It is ethanol it's the same ethanol you put in your car.
That's why we feel so shitty, right?
For anybody who's concerned about their health, if you start looking at all the studies that are out there about alcohol and how it impacts your health, this is what happened to me is the more you can kind of ignore this information for a while. And then we're like, God, that's really bad. Especially if you're like, oh, I'm trying not to eat seed oils or food dye or something like that. None of that is that bad for you. What's causing cancer is the class 1 carcinogen you're putting in your body.
Well, our listeners cannot see you, but you have the most incredible skin. Oh, so, it's that's when I know when people do not drink. I'm like, oh, your skin is glowing. And it's,
Thank you. I just took a shower. So I'm like.
When most of us want to learn a new language, it's not because we're dying to memorize grammar tables or ace a quiz. It's because we actually want to speak it out in the real world with real people. And that's what Babbel is great at. getting you there fast. Hey, it's Michael Zibiak, Chief Revenue Officer here at CityCast. My daughter's a senior in high school, and after graduation, we're taking a father-daughter trip to Spain. And right now, my Spanish is, let's just say, very high school level. Shout out to Senior Patty from Syosset High School. You tried. When we're in Spain, I'd love to do more than just ask where the bathroom is. I want to be able to chat with locals, order tapas, and actually connect, not just read the menu and point. So I'm starting with Babbel. It's all about small steps, big wins, and it's super easy to fit into my life. Honestly, with how busy things get here at CityCast, I love that Babbel's bite-sized, 10-minute lessons fit right into my day, between meetings or over my morning coffee. I'm excited to pick up some real-world Spanish before we go, so we can experience Spain like locals, not tourists. Doesn't that sound better? Right now, Babbel's got a special deal for our listeners. Get up to 55% off your subscription at babbel.com/citycast. That's BABBEL.com/citycast for up to 55% off. Rules and restrictions may apply. Gracias and adios.
Guess what? CityCast has some news. I'm Sean McPherson, the host of CityCast Twin Cities.
And I'm Jane Sihu, and I'm the host of CityCast Seattle. Hey, if you have a friend in one of our cities, can you text them for us?
Yeah, something, simple like, hey, how's that rash doing? And do you listen to podcasts? Because I have one you're definitely going to like. After that, tell them that CityCast has helped you become more informed, more involved, and more connected to your amazing city.
We're going to help that person you know in Seattle who's been trying to make friends.
And we're also going to do that for that guy you only kind of knew in college who moved back to the Twin Cities after graduation.
Don't we all have that guy?
Yeah, and usually that guy is named Todd.
So did you text them yet?
Jane, let's just wait a minute. We don't want to rush anybody. We'll do a little small talk. How's everything going in Seattle?
Beautiful, beautiful. Fall leaves popping. How about Twin Cities?
Today, beautiful and sunshiny in St. Paul. Okay, Jane, I bet they are done texting by now, and I just want to remind them, hey, you, please tell that friend to subscribe to CityCast Twin Cities or Seattle, wherever you get your podcasts.
Or if you don't want to text them and you're really just on Instagram sending them DMs all the time with like funny videos, send them a DM of our latest videos. You can find us at CityCast Twin Cities or CityCast Seattle on Instagram. Thanks.
I really would love to understand more about your journey of Killjoy and from, the light bulb moment to the doors officially opening. Who's responsible for the incredible name and your awesome branding?
Thank you. So the journey begins a long time ago because I was a heavy drinker and I lived in Europe for about 14 years and drinking was just a part of my lifestyle. I wanted to be, very European and having a beer, a cheeky beer at lunch and that kind of a thing. And then, when I got into my mid-30s, I started to realize I don't know how well this is serving me. And like I just mentioned, I started trying to cut back and had a really hard time. All my friends drank. Drinking was everywhere. I just didn't really know how to get out of the culture. And so I tried on and off for about 5 years, like little stints of not drinking. And then in 2020, it all reached its culmination because I was working at Hands On Nashville, which was responding to the tornado that we had at the beginning of 2020. I had a newborn at home. And then the pandemic hit. And so my life was just very, very stressful. And my drinking definitely ramped up because I wasn't driving anywhere ever.
Right.
And so by the time that it was my 40th birthday, which was in October of 2020, I was like, I'm done with this. I'm really done with this. I don't want to be thinking about this anymore. So I made the decision to quit drinking on my 40th birthday, and I haven't looked back. So it was absolutely incredible. Of course, it was difficult, but once I really had my mind made up, I was able to do it. But I didn't know about alcohol alternatives. So I was really like, just drinking water and kind of feeling like, well, socializing will never be fun again. And, it's just kind of a sad, sober story. And then I started learning about alcohol alternatives and I was like, this is amazing because now I can still go out and drink whatever it is I want to drink and be a part of things and feel like, I have the same thing in my hand that everybody else is drinking, but without any of the negative consequences. So the more I fell in love with alcohol alternatives, the more I started researching them, and they were really hard to find in Nashville. I was driving around to every liquor store, sifting through for the 1% of products that did not have alcohol in them, which isn't a good thing to do if you're trying to stay away from alcohol. So then I got the idea for Killjoy, and I didn't really know how to make it work. So we started doing pop-ups. My friend Juan, who has been a huge supporter, he owns the Loading Dock coffee shop, which was over in Wedgwood, Houston. And he'd heard me talk about this for so long. And he's like, you can use my space. Just do pop-ups here. They had this little space for rent. And it was pretty cheap. And it was month to month. So I was
cool.
all right, the risks are very low. Let's give this a try and just see what happens. So we opened our little bottle shop on April 1st of 2023 in that little location there. And I came up with a name. I just thought it was funny. That was
great name. So cool.
Yeah, that's just kind of my sense of humor. And I also felt like a big part of what I wanted to see was spaces that were not squeaky clean. I felt like a lot of, for me, that getting sober or quitting alcohol meant you were now on this wellness and this journey where everything feels very antiseptic and whatever. And I just I didn't like that. I was no, I still want edgy. I want that kind of feeling. So that's why we called it Killjoy.
You recently opened your amazing store on Fatherland Street.
It was always the plan to move, but turns out Nashville real estate's insane.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Really?
So it took me a long time to find a place that would work. I had put in my name. I was on a wait list for the shops on Fatherland for over a year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it just so happened this popped up. It was basically first come, first serve. They started contacting people on the list. And when I saw it, I said, yeah, this is it.
I think it's so interesting that you have a non-alcoholic beverage store in Nashville, because as you know, we celebrate alcoholism in our town.
We do. We love it.
We love drunk tourists so much. But what's your vision for a non-alcoholic bar in that landscape? And is it safe to say that Killjoy might offer refuge from the woo girls?
Yeah. I mean, and we have the main way that I was bringing people into our old space was through doing events. And so we have hosted a ton of events where, it's been like a bar. We've done a lot of happy hours, but we've done trivia nights. We've done karaoke. We've done speed friending. Oh my gosh, you name it. We've done book clubs. We've done yoga. We've done so many things. We had a tea party recently. I like all kinds of things. That's kind of my deal is I want to touch the edge of experience, which is why I drank, which is why, I want to travel to 53
everything. Countries.
Yes. I want to do all the things. And that's also why I love having variety. So I try one non-alcoholic thing. That's great. What else is there? I want to try all the things.
Right.
So I'd love for there to also be an elevated bar concept, but this collaboration with Sean is working out with the timing. So
I do want to know about your podcast. I was listening to a couple episodes yesterday. So y'all have a podcast. It's called The Killjoy After Party. How can our listeners find you?
We're on every podcast outlet, Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you guys listen. Check out the Killjoy After Party. We have, we just finished season 1. Today is our final episode of season 1 with a fabulous guest. So we interview people about their lives post-alcohol and kind of get their perspective on what life's been like since they quit drinking. And then we write a song with them.
Oh, that's so cool.
They're kind of light and silly episodes, but if you're wanting to get into, if you're thinking about quitting drinking and you feel like life is not going to be fun after you quit drinking, this is kind of the proof. And I wanted to share these stories because people come in the shop every day and they're like, oh my God, everything is better. Literally everything in my life is better. And I'm like, what? No one thinks that. Before I quit drinking, I just thought I'm never going to have fun again. That's just not true. That's just not true at all. So we wanted to kind of show it from a lot of different perspectives. So we try to interview people who come from some people who do AA, some people who quit for wellness reasons, just all kinds of different perspectives on quitting drinking and what life is like after.
What's the most surprising thing you've learned since opening Killjoy?
Oh, that's a good question. The first thing that popped into my head is that I love being an entrepreneur. I wish that I had become an entrepreneur a long time ago, but specifically the work that I do is really, really fun. I've always worked. I'm an industrious person, but I've never had work that's this fun and this exciting. And so I love it. And I love the Nashville community has honestly embraced Killjoy. It's embraced me, the entrepreneur community, the, music community. There's been such unexpected support. I love it. I'm on fire for what we're doing, and especially glad to be doing it in Nashville, which is my hometown and a city that desperately needs a little bit of a culture shift. And I think I think there's a lot of people that are ready for that.
What would you say to a younger entrepreneur launching a new business in Nashville?
I mean, the fact that you are really creating something, you get to create your world from the top down, and it's so exciting to be out there. It's a little bit like a game, like you just don't know what the outcome is going to be. I mean, my advice to someone starting out would be to read a lot of books, really, really know your finances, and start small. People doing a, $400,000 build out of a space and not knowing whether people are going to come to that space are having a hard time. And that's part of the reason why I started so small in that small location, because I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. And if it doesn't, then I'm not out $400,000.
Well, thank you again, Stephanie. And I can't wait to come back into Killjoy and check out more of your products.
Thank you so much for the time today. I appreciate it.
That's all for today here on CityCast Nashville. And don't forget, you can support this show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Nashville neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell your friends, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our Hey Nashville newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Toodles!